Okay, so it's me again. Take number 2. Lesson learned. Have your phone on airplane mode when you're recording a video that you don't want to get interrupted by a phone call and stop your recording. So, alright. Maybe I can say this a little bit better than I was in the previous one. Anyway, so the dilemma that comes up today, alright, I just found out about it today. There's this guy who took his kids out of school for 3 days, and I guess he got a little nasty with the principal and maybe the teachers or something about taking his kids out of school to go with him for 3 days as he ran the Boston Marathon. That's kind of irrelevant, whether he was a nice guy or whatever. The point is, people are dragging his name through the mud now because there's some suspicion that maybe he didn't run as well on his qualifying marathon, the one that he had to run to qualify to get into the Boston Marathon. So no, a lot of people aren't runners and don't really know how that works. But on his previous races, people were saying that he didn't run fast enough in those races to be able to run the qualifying race to get into Boston. So they just don't think he could have improved enough within that period of time before that qualifying race. So people all over, all kinds of forums, the racing community, the running community, have been saying that, just dogging him pretty much. Not everybody, but there have been quite a few, and it's blazing all through the place, it seems. Is it okay for people to do that? If they suspect someone had cheated or whatever, is it okay for them to drag the name through the mud? Because it seems like not only in the US, but around the world, it is, you are guilty until proven innocent. They don't have any definitive proof. They just have some suspicion that they don't think he could have improved as much as he would have needed to in order to run the qualifying time in the marathon prior to Boston, because you have to qualify with a specific time based on your age in order to get into Boston. You have to be in like the top 10% or something of your age group, and on your times. So I don't think personally that it's okay to drag people through the mud and basically try to ruin their reputation because you don't think they could have done it. People have been doing things that previously had been said to not be able to have been done. Did I say that right? I don't know. Whether it's landing on the moon or running the 4-minute mile or whatever. But just because someone improves a certain amount within a short period of time and you couldn't have done it yourself, or you don't think you could have, that doesn't necessarily mean that nobody could have done it. You got to give him the benefit of the doubt. If it does turn out that he did cheat, then I just still don't think it's okay to drag his name through the mud and all that. It's a moral no-no and things like that. And the person that was dishonest will have to live with that, and they will, even if they ran and they didn't get caught, they would still know that they didn't do what they were supposed to get to where they are, and that'll be with them for the rest of their lives. So they don't need other people to drag them through the mud. What if this guy was honest and he did work really hard, he really did improve that much within a month's time on his running, and people were dragging him through the mud, dragging through his mud, and he's already deleted his Twitter account and deleted other things. And what if so many people rejecting him and just jumping all over him caused him to do something drastic like commit suicide? And then it turns out that he was being honest and he actually did run those times. And then it'd be like a bunch of bullying going on that resulted in another suicide. Or, maybe he just went into a really bad depression and his life just went down the drain because everyone, it seems, had jumped on top of him. Whether he did or did not cheat to get into the Boston Marathon and cheat somebody else out of their spot or whatever, it's still not right to jump all over somebody like that, especially without having the facts. You have suspicion, that's all you have. That would not stand up in a court of law. So why are people being judge and jury, or however you want to say it, now with just suspicion, not thinking that he could do that? You know, there's no way to prove that he could not physically have improved that much. You know, who's to say? And he was supposedly, I guess, injured when he ran Boston and ran a much slower time than his qualifying time. So here's the question, which I've probably posed a couple times, but is it okay to accuse people publicly, especially, of cheating or, you know, something immoral without having all the facts, just with your suspicion, and then getting an entire community ablaze about it? So I know a lot of people say that he made a spectacle of himself with the whole teacher-principal type thing, and, you know, he brought it on himself for, you know, getting those 15 minutes of fame or whatever, but still, it doesn't make it right for other people to jump on a bandwagon or to even start it to get all over this guy saying that he couldn't run that time and he cheated somebody else out of their chance to run Boston. It is a race. Yes, it's a big deal and all that. I'm a runner, so I hear about it all the time. Still, it is just a race. It is not going to define your entire life. You know, if running the Boston Marathon is the biggest dream you have in your life and for your life, that is pretty sad. You know, it's a race. It's a competition. You know, your point in life should be to have a family, make your family happy, be happy yourself, be happy in what you do, and make a difference in other people's lives. Not to run this one race and that's your life. So once you're done, you can just, what, die? And it's over? You don't care what you do after you run Boston? Or you just want to live in the limelight a while after running Boston? Those are just some of my personal thoughts. And I don't go around, you know, judging everybody like this. I just think it's bad that everybody is, not everybody, but a lot of people are judging someone else because of a suspicion. You know, if I think somebody might have cheated, it's like, well, you know, they're going to have to live with that and it'll come back to them one way or another. I just don't think, you know, public humiliation should be the way that it comes back to them by people with suspicion. Okay, that's it. Kind of maybe a rant today, but still that question. So what do you think? All right, I'm going to let you go. It's almost 8 minutes. I will talk to you on the next video.